Hello students and welcome to my channel. How are you? Can you see the little blue bird sitting on a branch right in front of you? Can you think about this beautiful scenery? Can you see the beautiful flowers, the colorful buds, the leaves? It takes you straight away into a completely different scenery of nature. Soothing, mesmerizing, and wonderful. Even fantastic. Such a beautiful thing. It really exists. Students, we are always surrounded by nature. We always see the trees, the leaves, the flowers. They are around us. The birds are there. The sky is there. The rivers are there. The capes are there. But do we ever notice them? That how beautiful they are? Today we are going to get started and try to understand the poem entitled as A Thing of Beauty, written by the iconic romantic poet John Keats. I will go back to this picture. This is a thing of beauty. It represents the beauty of nature. And the beauty of nature is not only its external beauty, but the real beauty of nature lies in its kindness, its selfless attitude. Have you ever seen a tree enjoying its own shade? Have you ever seen a river drinking its own water? Have you ever seen the sun giving light to itself? No. All these forms of nature are nothing but selfless and kind towards us, kind towards others. That is why they are termed as beauty, beautiful. John Keats wrote this wonderful poem. So let's learn a little about this man. He was born in London in the year 1795 and died in Rome in 1821 at the young age of 25 due to illness. He is a romantic poet and his poetry is characterized by sensual imagery in his most popular work, which is a series of odes. And what is an ode? An ode is a lyrical poem which is meant for a particular subject. Today, his poems are one of the most sought after creations in English literature. The above given poem, that is A Thing of Beauty, is an excerpt from his poem Endymion, a poetic romance which he wrote in the year 1818, considered to be an epic poem. Here in front of you, the man himself, who died very young. But during this short span of his life, he wrote exemplary poetry, which we read even today and get mesmerized. Imagine John Keats wrote A Thing of Beauty in 1818 and we are reading it today, enjoying it today. Isn't it fantastic? In his short lifetime, he wrote a lot many books, a lot many poems, lyrics, and as you can see, Endymion he wrote in the year 1818. Let's go through the background of the poem. Endymion basically is an epic poem in English. This poem by Keats is based on the Greek mythology of Endymion, a shepherd beloved by the moon goddess Selene. We see an elaboration of the original story, and the moon goddess Selene is named as Cynthia. Here in front of you is the basic draft of the poem, the epic Endymion, book 1. And this book starts with this poem only. That is, A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever. Here in front of you. But what is the central idea behind this particular beautiful piece of art? Beauty is a heavenly tonic or a heavenly drink, an endless fountain of nectar, sweet and soothing. This beauty comes in different forms. like a tale, a poem, a play, a lovely object of nature, or the heavenly bodies. So we cannot confine beauty to one thing or some things. No, beauty is unlimited. It is found everywhere. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. You have to look closely. You have to notice it. Then you will see the real beauty. It soothes our spirits and gives us good health, sound sleep, and mental peace. It removes sadness from our lives and gives us an everlasting joy. So, even today, if we go through our memories, photo albums, if you have ever gone to the mountain area, the beaches, near to a river, you still remember how great the day was, how memorable it is. You cannot forget the beauty of nature. This is the text of the poem that we will take up. And these are the main points that are being taken up in the poem. The beautiful things of nature are permanent source of joy and make our lives sweet. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. One of the most noted and highly acclaimed quote for centuries is this: a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Something that is beautiful gives happiness forever and ever. It does not pass into nothingness, but its beauty keeps on increasing. So even if we go through our photo albums after many years, those beautiful sceneries make us happy. They never pass into nothingness. That's how it is. This world is full of frustrations, disappointments, and dearth of noble people. These make our life gloomy and sad. But things of beauty remove the pall and sadness from our spirits. Maybe that is why we try to just run away from our busy lives. We take holidays and go to such beautiful places to enjoy the beauty of nature, to see the lofty mountains, the dancing rivers, the vast sea beaches, and the endless ocean. Nature is a constant source of happiness for human beings for years and years, isn't it? The beautiful things are sheep, daffodils, clear streams, musk roses, and forest thickets. These are the ones mentioned in the poem, but they are plenty in number if you just look out. These things soothe and make us happy. Stories of heroes who have died in peace of war are also things of beauty and have stimulating effect. So anything that doesn't die away, that gives us happiness, that makes us feel proud of ourselves that yes, we are the part of a world which is beautiful, that is a thing of beauty. But the beauties of nature are lovelier than all the lovely tales and are like the immortal drink from heaven. So when something comes from heaven, it means that it is given to us by God. Coming to the tone of the poem, this poem has a very calm and peaceful tone. A contemplation of nature and its beauty is needed. You have to understand that how the poet is trying to bring in front of you the real beauty of nature. So look beyond its external appearance. You have to go inside. You have to go deeper to understand the real beauty of nature, which provides us peace and comfort, which makes us feel happy, which takes away all our frustrations and disappointments, which is everywhere beyond us and makes us a real human being who can live life happily. The totality of power of nature. This is what the poet wants us to understand. All things of beauty is itemized in the poem are natural, not man-made. Keats, an ardent lover of nature, refers to its power and dynamism. He urges mankind to realize these powers and make his life enjoyable and worth living. So when we learn that how these forms of nature do not live for themselves, but they live for others, that is when we realize that how small we are, minimal we are, and how selfish we are. We are no match to the beauty of nature, which lies in its kindness and the selfless attitude. This is what is depicted in the poem, and in such a beautiful manner that after 2 centuries, we are going to go through it all over again. Beginning with, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." So in the next session, we will get started with the poem. Thank you.